What's up, Blue Chips? We're going to do this again because my mic was off because I was doing things I didn't want you to hear before the stream actually started, which was just making a drink, so really not much. But sorry about that. Welcome to the Friday night live stream. Today we are going to be talking about intensity and how my strategy uses the intensity and just overall, doing a nice little free-for-all as well. That's always fun. So let's get to it. Yeah, that happened. It's all good. That's the beauty of being live. It happens. So what is everyone up to today? How was your Friday? Hopefully it was better than mine as far as trading goes. Trading is what trading is. And sometimes you're going to have red days. Sometimes you just have to realize you have to suck it up and you just have to move on, right? A red day is a red day and you just move on. We can go ahead and talk about, let me move this over here real quick. I can't see it. There we go. We can talk about being red and being upset and being wrong and all that good stuff. But, what it really comes down to, this trade had nothing to do with anything, anybody but me. I was so excited to finally have something moving after not trading on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday that the emotions got the best of me. So pretty much what happened is this started taking off, and instead of just waiting for my entry, I just ended up getting early. What was my first execution here? Usually it would tell me if I hover. Oh, there it is. So it's 35.06. This thing popped over 35 and I immediately just hit the button. I was like, I always get in over the whole dollar. I'm just going to hit it. And that was really my entry. That was the thought behind my entry on this. And it just absolutely kept on going all the way up here to 35.48. So completely missed this by a good 40 cents. And that was just my fault. I wasn't patient. I could even feel that it wasn't really done. And the only thing I did right in this is I was going to start this with 100 shares. I decided to start it with 75 instead because I realized what was happening. I just realized that I might be jumping into this a little bit early. Plus, I realized the range on this could have been bigger than I originally had thought it was, and it was. So at least that part, I scaled down those 25 shares, really helped me out a little bit. So, and then my ad, we got over 50, and as you can see, I don't understand these little 64. So it popped through 50, and it went right to 60, like 65-ish area, and I was just like, okay, I'm hitting the button. Even though it had never really showed that it was going to slow down, I just hit the button. I was like, oh, this is a good place to add. I don't want to miss the ad over 50, blah, blah, blah. So I hit it, and then sure enough, look, it went up to 35.87. And I'm just like, what am I doing, right? So when it made this pullback, my average was at 35. If you guys watch the live video or live trade on my video today, you'll see that the ask never got below 34, and my average was at 35. And I should have taken off half of my position. I even said it during the live stream this morning. I was going to take half my position off just to kind of reduce the risk, just in case. But I got greedy. So another emotion got in the way. I wanted this to flush down under the 30 area into the 20s so then I could take half. I wanted to take half for a decent profit so that if it shot up against me, I would basically be break even on the trade if it wanted to go high of day. And what did the greed get me? It got me absolutely nowhere. It pretty much shot right up to 50, and from 50 it just kept, it squeezed right up. And my thought process with this last ad was I knew I was going to stop out high of day. It felt like it was stopping here around 80. It was trying to stall a little bit, and I was going to put my stop right above 36. So if it broke 36, I was just out. And so I took an ad. I took an ad figuring if it wanted to do a little bit of the sloppy seconds or double top, whatever you want to call it in this situation, and kind of fall back over, I would have more shares to ride back down, a little bit of a higher average, just in case it didn't want to, come all the way back down, just giving me more opportunity to get out. And it was a lot less risk because I knew exactly where my stop was. So that was the reason for this ad here. But as you can see, it pretty much just said, no, screw you. We're going high day. And that was that. And of course, it did what it typically does. It, gets all the liquidity out, squeezes from everybody stopping out, and then it finally gets that big drop off that you were looking for to begin with. And this actually kind of did what I thought it was going to do. It pretty much grinded. I thought it would get up to 37 by the end of the day, but it pretty much grinded and just ended up going sideways instead of kind of slightly up for the rest of the day. But not mad at the trade, guys. I was mad at myself for my entries on this, but I was not mad at the overall trade. This is my strategy. If I look to get in on the front end, I'm looking to try to find the top, scale into the position, and look for the big drop. Now, ultimately, what I look for, my strategy in a nutshell, is I look for intense moves through a previous resistance. So that previous resistance was right here at 34.50. I'm looking for it to extend away from that. And then I'm looking to scale in to try to find the top. And then I'm looking for it to come back down and retest that previous resistance. Now, it usually does this pretty much, I would say, 70, 80% of the time. You will almost always see before it continues higher, it will come down and retest that previous resistance. But every once in a while, you run into these where it just says, screw you, and we're just going to stay up here. It happens, right? So that's why you have to have strategies in place. That's why you have to know how to lose. One of my biggest faults was not knowing how to lose. I went 28 green trades in a row at one point until I ran into MTSI. And I still hadn't really lost with the strategy that I'm using now. And when MTSI came along, I didn't know how to lose. I didn't know how to make this cut and just move on. And it ended up costing me half my account. I ended up blowing half of my account in one trade on MTSI, for any of you that haven't heard that story before. So you need to know how to lose. This ended up hitting my max loss. My max loss is $100. We ended up getting, find the window, $125.25. And a little bit of that was slippage. We had our stop at 36.01, and we ended up getting filled at 36.06. Let me pull up the execution window. I think it's this one, yeah. So as you can see here, that's not right. Oh, that's because that wasn't the executions. Here we go. So 35.06, the ad at 35.64, the ad at 35.81, the stop out 36.06. So we ended up hitting our max loss for the trade. So it is what it is. Those happen. But when you're winning 80, 90% of the time, as long as you keep these small, your $50 winners, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, they're going to pay for these, right? And you're going to end up just growing your account. No, this was the only play I had today. After this, there really wasn't anything that kind of popped up that I was interested in. So, by the way, Thomas, welcome. Zishan, welcome. Vincenzo, welcome. Thank you all for being here tonight. So let's kind of get into why maybe some of you are here after I take a nice drink of my, I just love that. Wonder, can you see the ice cubes? No, you can't even see the ice cubes, really. I guess like if you can kind of see it there. But pretty much what I want to show you guys first is a picture. So let me pull this up. Where did my screen go? There it is. My screen went black there for a second. So what we're looking at here is a picture straight off the Intensity Stock Watch website. So this is geared towards showing you kind of how the scanner relates to what most stocks do, but we're not going to look at it as far as the scanners. Dario, what's up, man? Matt, I will get to you in one sec. But what I want to get at is most stocks, pretty much all stocks, are kind of stuck in this middle where they're just kind of grinding, whether it's grinding up, whether it's grinding down, whether it's grinding sideways. It's grinding, right? Which is low intensity. What we're looking at is just absolutely low intensity where there's not a lot of volume going in one direction or the other. But then there's some stocks where you kind of get a trend, right? Whether it's an uptrend, a downtrend, and that's when the volume starts to come in and you start to get these middle numbers on the scanners, which again, we're not talking about the scanners, but it's, you see what I'm going at with this chart up here. So you kind of get a trend and you can start to move up and down. So really this is kind of backwards for what I'm saying, like the grinded stocks would be out here, but anyways. So when you start developing a trend, people start to either buy or people either start to sell in one way or the other. Like more volume comes in, like either the bulls are taking control or the bears are taking control. Now, when that trend starts, whether it's up or down, that's when the unsustainable trend or the intense move tends to happen. Because say you start to curl up just like this, you start to curl up, and a lot of the shorts that are in this position realize, hey, this is kind of going against us now. And then you also get people that are interested in buying saying, hey, this thing's curling up, it's going to buy. So now you have two different sets of people that are buying based on two different principles, right? You have one person that's stopping out of a position because they were short or taking profit. You never know where this started, or if they were swing traders, et cetera, et cetera. And then you have people that are looking to buy. And so now it's just going to start to move up, and it's going to start to move up really fast. So basically what's happening is all of these orders are coming through in one direction really fast. It's an intense move. So what happens when all of those people are done putting in their orders, right? You pretty much went straight up. Like, let's go back to our example here. So this stock right here, as it's coming through resistance at 34.50. A lot of people could have shorts that are covering over this resistance, and then a lot of people that are buying, and it creates this move, right? This big move. Well, what happens when you finally find a ceiling and no one else is left to buy? You're going to have a reversal, right? Well, if as it's coming back down through the reversal, there was still no one else left to buy because all the people that FOMO'd into the trade, all the people that covered their shorts, if they're not there, the odds are you're going to get a move back down to that normal area where it was trading before it decides what it wants to do again. Now, in this case, I believe Fast was on earnings and it just made a move. And again, these happen. But what I'm talking about is this big intense move. So we see the big intense move and we got the pullback. If we would have just entered into this, correctly, if we would have waited and been patient with it, this would have been a green trade today instead of a max loss trade. So but the intensity behind it is exactly what I was just showing you with it's basically becomes an unsustainable trend, otherwise known as, I always like to say, the faster the move, the weaker the trend, right? So the faster the move up, the weaker the trend, because you can only keep going up so fast, especially if you're not playing low floaters. This is also a completely different story from low floaters. If you guys are used to low float stocks, they can just keep going straight up. That's just what low floaters do when there's not a lot of shares in the float, and it can rotate just like, let's take a look at what SES did at the end of the day, just real quick. Look at this. This was at the end of the day, it just started squeezing. So you probably had people shorting this thing all day. And right when it got over this area, people probably it started here. But let me show you this is exactly what I was telling you about. So you had this previous resistance, it went through, extended itself, and it came back and touched it almost perfectly before continuing. Now, obviously it didn't do it the second time because it's just a low floater and does whatever it wants. This was a 1 million float. And let me look at the volume here. So in this 2-minute candle right here was 600,000. So it traded 60% of its float in one candle, in 2-minute candle. So it's basically, as this was going up, it's basically trading its float. So the average person that's in this trade is higher and higher. So if you're short down here, there's really no reason for people, as this is climbing, whose averages are up in this area, to want to sell, and until either they break even or whatever. So if you're a short down here, I mean, you're completely underwater, and your account's not looking too great. If you're going to be looking to hold this for probably a couple weeks, because this thing's probably going to run on Monday, I think, in my opinion. But again, though, look at these are kind of grindy candles, and then look at this intense move here. So you get the big intense move all at once, and what do you get? You run out of buyers, you run out of people FOMOing into the trade because they're thinking, okay, I can't buy up here, this is crazy. And then so you get people taking profit, and you get people short selling, so you get the reversal. And a lot of times you end up getting, and here's the sloppy seconds I was talking about. So you got the big move, get the bounce. It's almost the bouncy ball effect. I just call it sloppy seconds. So you get the big move, the bounce, and you come back up, bounce, and you're bouncing lower. It's kind of the sloppy seconds. That always usually makes a lower. I'm really trying to get into, scaling into a position, taking profit, and then looking to add again for the sloppy seconds. But I'm just not there yet. Yeah, this was, even though it was a low floater, it's still kind of abided by the rules. I wish I had more to kind of show you what I was talking about. Yeah, there's all kinds of different patterns you can put on anything. Let's just look at maybe even the SPY, see if this did anything crazy today. I know it made some crazy moves at some point. Yeah, what the heck? I hate the wicks that these things put in. I mean, the SPY even almost tried to do it. Just to give you guys, I mean, not really, but it went up and it tried to come back down. I don't know if this is a real candle or not. I doubt it. I mean, it's a real candle, obviously, but I don't think it dipped down that far. But it tried to touch it and then tried to continue. I mean, it happens all the time. The support and resistance is always there. And my strategy is simply just that. I look for it to extend through, and I look for it to come back down. In this case, we just didn't get the move back down that we were looking for. And because we had bad entries, it ended up kind of taking us for a ride, and we didn't play it right. We didn't play it as well as we should have, and it ended up biting us a little bit. So let me see what Matt had to say real quick. Welcome, by the way, Matt, Donald, Raw Trades. What's going on, guys? I'm in the middle of my first big loss new to trading. I'm holding the bag. That's never good. Waiting for it to come back, and it's making me really mad. I'm learning to let it go, but it's not been easy. Well, Matt, what ticker is it? We'll take a look at it, just out of curiosity. David, what's going on, man? Welcome. Hey, new to your channel. Do you primarily trade stocks below $10? Do you just trade the first hour every day? My main spot is the first hour, 9:30 at the bell to about 11 o'clock, unless it's Shit Show Tuesday, and then I only trade from 9:30 to about 9:45 because that's all I get. And no, I actually trade, as you can see, this is a $35 stock. I trade all the way up to about $80. That's just all my account can really handle. CMEG has been absolutely awesome. For anyone that's looking to day trade, that doesn't have the $25,000 to open a U.S. broker account, then yeah, CMEG has been great. I used SureTrader when I first started, and then I didn't know CMEG even existed. And then I came across CMEG through somebody on YouTube, and I ended up going over and getting 295 trades. So 495 at SureTrader versus 295 at CMEG. It was kind of a no-brainer. You kind of getting the same ordeal. They're both offshore. And guess what? CMEG doesn't get suspended either. They actually go through a pretty detailed process as you sign up to trade with them. What is your average here, Matt? You're in at 39, okay. When did you get in? I'm assuming it was up here. But yeah, I don't know. SureTrader is just, everybody knows Guy Gentile is associated with SureTrader. And, he has a history. And I don't know if it's coming back to bite them with SureTrader, but they were just suspended for a week. I don't know about you, but if my broker is getting suspended for a week, yeah. And I mean, all they need is a name and a credit card to open an account. That's just, that's fishy in itself. Light red, but was happy because traded the plan and stuck to the plan and cut it higher day, but only one trade. Oh yeah, Thomas, that's what he was talking about. Maybe after they eliminated commissions, soon they will get rid of PDT as well at all the U.S. brokers. I mean, I hope you're right, but if they do, it's not going to be anytime soon. It's not going to be like the commissions, because that's the brokers themselves. The brokers can do whatever they want with their prices, but this is the SEC and all that. Like, they have to go. It's not even the SEC. I think that they have to go through to figure out. It's a weird name. Is it like FinTag or so? I forget the name of it off the top of my head. But they have to go through that to even talk about getting PDT removed. I mean, PDT is kind of dumb. It's old. It was really back when there wasn't the technology that we have now to protect basically what happened in 2008 with the crash. That's kind of what it was designed for. But it was designed to protect the brokers, really, from not being able to pay if a stock were to just plummet, and you obviously can't pay it as a trader because your account just goes the way it did. But now brokers are protecting themselves. They have margin calls that just kick in automatically. Back then they didn't have that stuff. So the PDT rule now doesn't really make sense, but I mean, it kind of is what it is at this point. It is through the SEC, Tom? Okay. I thought I had read somewhere that it wasn't, but Wednesday-ish. When was Wednesday? The 9th? Let's see. So you're kind of in here. Yeah, these penny stocks are interesting. Let's look at it on the daily. Yeesh. This thing's all over the place. It's probably some PR stunt. And it's just been getting crushed ever since. Yeah, you kind of got it near the high there on Wednesday too, huh? Yeah, it's a tough one, man. It's not looking that great because you kind of have higher lows each day. I don't know. These are ones I don't know what to tell you. I don't trade penny stocks, so I don't really know. I don't even know. What's the float on this thing? Oops. Yahoo Finance. RTTR. If you guys have any questions along the way, by the way, just let me know. That is definitely not the stock we're looking for. Writer Pharmaceuticals. I mean, every once in a while, these guys get random spikes just due to their random PR that they put out. Yeah, 8 million float. I mean, it's one of them just crap stocks that you never know. I don't really know what else to tell you on that one. Yeah, I've never traded penny stocks. I've just so much. I watched a lot of YouTube before I started trading at all, and yeah, I never traded them. 5 million. Yeah, it says I think close to 8 on Yahoo, but it's always different everywhere you go. Let me try to get back on track here. Wanted to pull this up real quick. Now, if you guys don't have this picture somewhere on your computer to study, download it. It's right. I don't always take them off of here, but this is off of Intensity Stock Watch as well. If you just go to Overview and Intensity Blueprint, it just takes you right to it. And this is the most important chart that I ever found in my trading. Because it explains it. It explains exactly what happens. And it really is this easy. Like, you see it every day. You see this happen every single day. You have a stock that's kind of starting to move, right? People start to get excited. And then they start to see it really move. And they're like, I mean, it's marked as the thrill, but then it's just like, okay, I got to get in this trade. It's going. And then people buy. And it's usually right at near the top. Like those are the FOMO traders, right? That are really pushing it that little bit extra before it finally just dumps down, right? So right there is the euphoria. Everyone's buying in FOMO. It's like breaking a key resistance level. Let's jump in. Everybody jump in. And that's the euphoria. That's where I get that word euphoria from, sell euphoria. So as it finds the top and it starts to come down, all the people that bought in up here, we get down to this anxiety level and they start to wonder, is this just a pullback, right? And then as it drops a little bit more, they start to say, this isn't going to keep going. It's just a pullback. Like we're going to pull back and then we're going to go higher. And then it falls down to here. And then everyone's starting to say, okay, we really are hoping, just like Matt is on his... Sorry, I don't mean to make fun of you, Matt. I'm not making fun of you, but I'm just using you as an example. You start to get desperate, right? You start to realize, hey, I really need you to stop going down and I need you to go up. Now, obviously, this isn't all happening in one move. Like you could have like the sloppy seconds in here, like in between anxiety and denial. Like you could have an even up here at anxiety. And so it pops back up a little bit, just a little bit. And everyone's like, oh, okay, this is going back up, but then it falls, right? And they get that bouncy ball effect. And then that's when people are in denial. This isn't always just straight up, straight down kind of thing. You can always put in there, a lot of people always say it's like, well, this isn't straight up and straight down. It doesn't always happen like that. And you're right. This could kind of grind up and then boom. And then it shoots up like that big intense move like I was telling you about, hence the extreme intensity. And then as it's coming down, it can kind of do its little bouncy ball effect, sloppy seconds, whatever you want to put a name to it. But then it gets down to this area, and now you're underwater a little bit, and you're like, holy crap, please just go back up, right? Like you're kind of a deer in headlights at this point. I know, I've been there. And then after that, you get panic. And that's when the other side of my strategy comes in, where I like to play the stocks that go up, and I like to short at the top, and I like to bring them back down, where you can play the exact same moves the opposite way, where there's big intense moves down, and then that's where the panic and the capitulation comes in, the fear. Then it comes back up, because once you run out of people that are panic selling, all the people that were in up here, they're the ones that are making that intense move happen to the downside, because now they're panicking out. And when you get to the bottom, the capitulation, that's when you have and again, look, most traders sell here. That's where you have the maximum upside, right? The stock market moves in waves. It moves in waves. Sometimes it's big, intense waves. Sometimes it's just grindy waves. Well, guess what? Which ones are more predictable if you want to predict a move, which one's more predictable? Let me show you another chart that I have. Oops, that's not the one. So I'm going to break this into two. Let's say this part this part here doesn't exist. Let's say we're just playing this part. When it's just going sideways like this, like see how it's still moving in a wave. Like we'll even start here. We got up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Like it's moving in waves, but look at the range. It's in a little 10-cent range, and you cannot predict which way it's going to move next when it's going like this. But now, when it makes a huge move up like this, what do you think the next move's going to be? Do you really think it's just going to keep going straight up? Again, yes, parabolic, low float stocks can go straight up. I'm going to just knock that out right now. They can go straight up. They will go straight up. That's why I don't play them. But when they go straight up like this, what's the odds of this continuing to keep going straight up? If you have been in the market long enough, you will see that this is exactly what happens 80 to 90% of the time. I'll gladly say with 100% confidence, at least 70, 75+% of the time. But if you're playing these correctly and watching for the intense moves on volume that aren't low float stocks, this is going to happen 80 to 90% of the time. And I'm proof. Like, I want to show you guys something. You guys know how transparent I am. Let me pull down my stock trader for the day. I actually just looked at this today. I had a nice little green streak in here, but then I looked at my last 9 trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I had 4 out of the last 9 trades. Now, like the month of September and these past couple weeks you guys just know, if anyone's been trading or just paying attention to the market, you know it's been really slow. So let's go back. Like, I started using this strategy right here in February. So 02, 08, I just know this date by heart at this point. So now we have that from February to now. And here's my stats. I'm at 88.57%, 124 wins, 16 losses. Now, keep in mind that there are times where, like, I traded the same ticker twice, and it'll all just count as one, whether it's a winner or a loser. So it's probably a little bit more, probably to the good side, if anything. But I struggled. This was my MTSI trade that wiped out half my account. If not for that trade, we actually were profitable after commissions not that long ago. But these past trades have kind of wiped it or set us back a little bit. But as you can see, the percentage is there. So if I would have known how to lose when I played that MTSI trade, and I'm going to show it to you real quick just to give you an example of what I'm looking at, we'd be doing really well as far as the money goes. But what we're looking at is the win percentage. If we can win 88%, 80, even just 85% of the time, and you're winning, say, $50 a trade, and you're only losing $100 when you do lose, because let's look at just the last 2 months. Let's go back. Let's just look at the last month. Let's see what that does. So we just made 17 trades in the last 2 months. That's how slow it's been, but we're still at 88%, right? And look at our average loser. It's closer to our max loss of $100. So we can't complain about that. So, and obviously these numbers could be better, but yeah, I'm a little sad about those numbers, but it's been an odd month or so. But even so, after commissions, we're still up. Even though it's a little amount, we're still in the good there. Even with the bigger losers, right? So that's really the big thing I'm trying to get at is when you get these, the faster the move, the weaker the trend. It's that simple. It really can be that simple. So interesting. Oh, I guess I could scroll through my folder like that. Is there any other good ones in here? Cry me a river, dick face. Kiss my sponge. Where's the good ones? Here's my logo. You got screwed. Voila. That's everything I have in that folder. Some of those are just ones that we go through with the team throughout the day. So with the intensity, again, it's really what we're looking for. So if we come back to here, like even in pre-market, I mean, there are moves, but they're not on volume, so we don't pay attention to those. So I use the 2 minute. You can use the 1 minute, 2 minute, and I would say 3 minute, but I really wouldn't go too much higher than that, because you're really looking for the moves as they happen. So you kind of have to be in the moment with them. I feel like the 5 minute, you're losing the intensity part of the edge and the strategy if you start to use bigger time frames. So I would recommend the 1 or the 2 minute. I'm drinking apparently see-through. It's one shot. Well, it's actually a quarter of this Bacardi, a quarter blue Curacao, and half pineapple juice. They call it a blue hurricane, I think is the name of it. I wish you could see. Here, give me 1 sec before we continue. Let me turn off the chroma so you can see the actual color of it. A nice B&B glass. It's yummy. It's yummy, yummy. Do you intentionally shoot for a particular float range? As long as it's over 50 mil in the float, I'm happy. 75 is like my sweet spot. I don't generally trade anything over like 500 million because then you start getting into just stocks that most likely ran into like a whale creating a move, and then it's really hard to bring it back down because there's just so many shares involved. It is good time. It's very good. It's pretty much my drink of choice on Friday nights. That's a win to be green no matter by how much, and it's really good since you've been trading for less than 2 years. I've actually been trading for not even a year and a month. Oh, actually a year and a month now. Like a year and a month and a good. Addedly, what's up, man? How are you doing? I do not use hotkeys. I use these hot buttons. I have 5 of them. I rarely use the top 2. I only use these 3. And then a lot of the times too, if something's like if this was moving up and I felt really good about my position, I was looking for a key area. Like if I was looking for this 36 break right here, sometimes I'll put an order in and I'll actually just put the order in myself. I'm looking for it to pop through. So that way, if it just pops through and gets shot right back down, hopefully I get filled. Because that happens a lot. When you get towards the top, when you start to feel it's topping, sometimes you miss those ads over the key areas that you're looking for because it just happens so fast you don't have time to hit a button. This is I kind of trade for a living, but no, this does not pay the bills. I'm actually very fortunate that this is all on the side. My wife, I'll just give you the full quick backstory. I worked for the local government where I live for 10 years. We had our first kid, and when we went to send him to childcare, when we both went back to work, as a family, we were bringing home, it was like an extra $100. I don't even think it was $100 a month, an extra $100 a month after paying for the childcare. So basically what we did is we sold our house. I quit my job. We moved into a smaller house, and now we live off of my wife's income. And when I was home with the kids, we actually ended up getting pregnant again. We actually moved to Florida for like 3 months, came back. That's a whole different story. And if you guys are still interested, ask me after we're kind of done the intensity portion of this. And when we moved back, I kind of felt like I wanted to provide, even though it was completely extra. Again, we budgeted everything based off of the wife's income. So anything that I make from trading would be completely extra. So I actually did take the retirement that I had started to build up with the local government. I think I had it was like $8,000-ish before taxes because it was all pre-tax in my 403B. Took that out. I actually put it into a Betterment account before I started doing this. I wasn't making any money over there. So I actually was playing a game with a guy who was a finance major in college, and he was talking about Ricky Gutierrez and all this stuff. So I popped on YouTube, started watching him, led me to Ross, and kind of the rest is history. But yeah, everything I have is completely on the side and extra. But yeah, I was Ubering. I actually umpire Little League on the side. I love baseball, so it was kind of an easy thing for me to get into. And yeah, so everything I do is definitely not for a living, but I hope the whole point of me trading is to hopefully one day be able to provide a life for my kids that I wasn't provided as a kid. I grew up poor, as a lot of people do. My family was kind of big in the debt and all that good stuff, but my wife and I, we have a little bit of a car left to pay and our house. That's all we have left to pay. We have 2 kids, 3.5, 1.5. I get to stay at home and raise them at least on Tuesday and Thursday now because the oldest is going to school 3 days a week. So yeah, it's kind of my backstory. If you don't know me. Will I get a new job? No, I do not plan on getting a new job. The only way I will actually go and get a job is if by the time both my kids are in school, I haven't figured this out. But I have a feeling I'm going to figure this out. I've only been doing this for a year, and I think we're on the right track. So I do not plan on getting a job now. My wife, and the reason, again, me and my wife were actually making about the same amount of money. The benefits were really good through my job, being a government job. But the pay kind of sucked. And her job had potential to grow, which in the last 3 years it has. And so we definitely made the right choice with who got to stay home, because that was kind of a big decision for us, was who was going to stay home with the kids. Because at first it was like, of course, mom's going to stay home with the kids. But then we realized, hey, if we do that, we're really going to struggle financially in the future. So we decided not to, and it's worked out. So it's been really awesome to be able to stay home with my kids. But if you guys watch my videos, especially on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you know how difficult it can be. There's times where I miss trades because of the kids, because they need something, and as I'm helping them with it, that's when the trade happens and I miss it. And it can be very frustrating, but I don't try not to get upset about it. And sometimes when I'm in trades, that reminds me of OCX. I totally never showed you guys the MTSI trade. I was in a trade OCX right before I actually found Intensity Stock Watch, and I was in a trade. This is back when I was trading stupid size. I had started with 500 shares, actually got up to 1,000 shares, and I was up 20 cents on the trade. It looked like it was about to break a key support level, and I'm thinking home run. I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a $500-$600 trade. This is going to be awesome. It's going to make my day. And my son's tugging on my arm, and he's saying, hey, Dad, pee, got to go pee. And I'm like, whatever, this is going to break a support level, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to be happy, blah, blah, blah. Get up. I thought it was going to take like 2 minutes. Took 4 minutes. Within those 4 minutes, I went from being up $200, thinking we were going to have a home run trade as it broke that support level, to the stock being halted up $1.60 from where it was. So I ended up being down $1,400 within 4 minutes when I came back. And that stock actually, it kind of looked like this, but it just kept on grinding up the rest of the day until later in the day. I was literally, I want to say maybe it moved up, I want to say like $3, 3 points. I was another like 20, 30 cents from getting margin called out and my account being blown. But somehow I got lucky and it started to kind of curl back down. And at the end of the day, I did get margin called for like, I think 25% of the position. And then just over the course of the next few days, I started kind of scaling out of the position as it was dropping. And yeah, that was a pretty bad trade. Yeah, daycare is ridiculously expensive. But again, the only way I'll get a new job is if I don't figure this out by the time they're both in school. Because if I keep telling myself, if I can be a profitable trader while taking care of kids, I can only imagine like when I'm actually allowed to have 100% focus and trade. Like it kind of blows my mind sometimes to just think about that day. Do you take the same size for any trade? What size do you use for your trades? No, I do not always take the same size. It's a good question, though. I actually just answered this for somebody else today, and I believe he might still be in here, so it'll be good to kind of go back over it. Real quick, though, let me just show you this MTSI trade since we're on the subject. So this was my MTSI trade. As you can see, it was really bad. I played the intense move, and I added, and I had every chance to get out, was being greedy, and it came back up, went high of day, and instead of cutting the position like I would now, I only took half off. It felt like it was topping, so I actually added the half back, and I was right that it topped, but it only came down to here, and then it grinded higher. So when it went high of day again after setting this high, I cut half. and then I added half back. I was wrong this time. Went a little bit higher, got a little bit of a pullback, didn't come down to anywhere where we needed to end up making money. And then it went higher. It went high of day again. We took half, and then we added it back. And then it went high day again. We took half, and then we added it back when it looked like it was coming down. I was wrong. We took half. It double topped. We added it back. This was how I used to trade before MTSI. And I was getting away with it. That's how I ended up having 28 green trades in a row, because I was doing this, and eventually I'd found the top and it would make a nice move down. Well, guess what? This one never made a move down. It just grinded away all day, grinded and grinded. And then I finally stopped out all of my shares up here because I realized that $1,000 on my P&L was enough. I was like, holy crap, how did we get to this point? Started with 50 shares. Started with 50 shares, and it got to a point where we lost $1,000. Just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And then, of course, after I get out, it makes one last little move and then breaks down. But yeah, so this is why we don't do this anymore. This is why when it comes down, consolidates, tries to pull back, and if it goes high of day again, we're out. That's the move. That's the strategy, and we move on. But it doesn't happen that often. These moves that grind like this, they don't tend to happen that early if you get the big intense move. And to be honest, this wasn't that intense of a move. But then again, it was. We were looking for it to come down to this previous resistance again. It just never did. And again, sometimes it just doesn't. Thoughts on beginner trader? I actually just found him the other day. The guy who live streams every day. He seems pretty cool. He plays, from what I can tell, he just plays VWAP trades a lot, like VWAP fade. So share size. This is a really good question. How much capital did you start with initially to trade? Do you pull money out from your account every month? I would if I was making money, but I'm not making. I mean, I am making money now, but I wasn't. But no, I'm not making enough to pull it out either. I mean, as you can see, I have, which one are the account values? I have $5,600, which will now be 54.77, 75 ish, 54.75. Oh, actually a little bit less because of commissions and fees. So I started with $5,000 on SureTrader. I mean, this is literally my full journey. Make sure this, yeah. So my very first day that I traded on August 21st of 2018, I lost $1,141. It was bad. But then I slowly was getting lucky. I was trading only 500 shares on SureTrader because here was my thought process. My thought process was, hey, I'm paying $5 per trade. Why not just the penny per share? Why not just use 500 shares so I'm getting my money's worth every time I trade? How stupid that was. But I was getting lucky. I was actually getting lucky. I was playing the lower float type stocks, and every once in a while, I was trying to, basically just use support areas, and if it went below the support area, I would just cut it. And then if it would keep going, I would do my best to let it run. And I was using 500 shares. That's why you see these big jumps up and down, and I even got up good to one point. And this was actually, I actually tried to switch to Interactive Brokers to try trading on PDT and swing trading, and that's what this drop was. I wasn't very good at it. And then I ended up switching back, and then this was the OCX trade, and then this was the MTSI trade. So as you can see, I've never been really down, except for that first day, more than $1,000 in the account itself. But when you look at all of this is just the trading. This has nothing to do with scanners, platform fees, commissions, the fees, broker fees, platform fees. It has nothing to do with any of that. So yeah, I might be a break-even trader per se, but when you factor in all that other stuff, we're down quite a bit. If you look at it, I think we're down over $1,000. That's not right. That's just the MTSI. I was going to say it's more than that. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, we're down over $2,200, and that's not including what I pay outside of just broker commissions and fees, with like scanners and stuff like that. Yes, this website is free. I recommend Stock Trader. If you guys are not journaling your trades, you really should journal them. It's really simple. And as you can see, my percentage before I started trading my new strategy, well, let's actually do this. I always like to do this just to show you guys, because it's always good to be able to see your progress, right? So February 8th is when I started the new strategy. So if we do the day before, so this is all of my trades before then. This I was 42 and 31. My trade percentage was 57.53%. That's pretty bad. And as you can see, look, I was already down that amount. So since then, with commissions, I've actually stayed around break even, which is pretty good, right? If you can stay break even paying commissions and fees and all that stuff with the amount of share size, I'm only using anywhere from starter positions, I'm using 50 to 100 shares. So, I mean, that's pretty good, right? Because eventually when we figure this out, we grow our account and then we start to scale up. It's all about consistency. Consistency is number one. You need to be consistent before anything. If you can't be consistently winning with just one strategy, then how are you going to be consistent using multiple strategies, with bigger size? It's just not going to happen. If you can be my mentor at this point from ISW, he said, if you can make $50 a day, you can make $5,000 a day. All it is 2 extra zeros on your share size, right? And it's true. As long as you're trading stocks that have the volume and the liquidity's there, that's all it is. It's 2 extra zeros at the end and your account size. My best trade, that's a good question. I think it was $617. I think it was on that first day. I traded NUA overnight like an idiot. No, it wasn't that one. Largest winners. NCTY. I remember this trade. I obviously don't have the chart. This is before I really took journaling seriously. I started it with 500, and this was actually pre-market. And it was a lower float stock. Obviously, we all know NCTY. And it just started going up. As you can see, my final take profit was at 865. So I took half off from 640 at 692 on 500 shares. And I took another half of the 250 at 805 and then another half at 865. And again, that was complete luck. It's complete luck. I just happened to guess the stock that was going to move that day. I jumped in. I even jumped in at a really bad spot. It wasn't even like at support. It was as it was going up. And yeah, was not a great trade. Can you believe I've been trading for a year and a half and my biggest win has been $50? There's nothing wrong with that. The other reason my wins are that big is because I was being stupid using share size that I shouldn't have been using. If I knew what I know now, I would have started with like 25 shares, 10 shares. You need to realize too, that's why using CMEG, if you're using a small account, is valuable because you get the lower commissions. So you need to not worry about commissions. You need to worry about consistency. You need to find the one strategy that is that's your edge. It's your strategy. You need to learn the ins and outs. You need to know what you're going to do in your strategy, when to buy, when to sell. You need to know what is it going to do. What are you going to do within your strategy if it goes high of day? What are you going to do if it goes low of day? What are you going to do if it consolidates for 2 minutes? What are you going to do if it consolidates for 10 minutes? What are you going to do if it consolidates for a half an hour? What are you going to do if it breaks support? What are you going to do if it breaks resistance? What are you going to do in every possible situation that a stock can do? What are you going to do? You need to know that for just one strategy. If you don't know that for just one strategy, at some point, if you keep trading that same strategy over and over again, you are going to be a deer in headlights. That's exactly what happened to me on MTSI. I had never been in that situation before, and I got carried away. And the emotions started kicking in because the emotions kicked in because I didn't know what to do. I'd never been in this situation. I didn't have a plan for that situation. So until you know exactly what to do in every situation, whatever the market throws at you for that one strategy, that's all you should be doing. You need to find a strategy that's profitable. That's obviously key number one. And then two, master that one strategy. That's all it is. Find a strategy that you like. Find a strategy that someone has proven on YouTube, whatever it is, whether it's mine, whether it's Tim Sykes, Ross Cameron, whoever it is, whatever strategy that you want to work and that you have fun trading. Because again, you have to remember this needs to be something you enjoy doing. You don't want this to turn into work, because if it turns into work, or if it's something that you are depending on for money to live on, I do not recommend that. Do not recommend that at all, because it's just going to add emotion, basically adding fuel to the fire, and it's just going to spiral out of control. So pick a strategy, figure it out, sit down, back test, look at charts, find that strategy within the charts over and 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 over again and again and again and again and again and again. Just keep finding the strategy, figure out everything about it. Act like it's the girl of your dreams, guy of your dreams, whatever, and just know you want to know everything about it. That's the first step to being a successful trader. If you looked at this trade right here, and I sat here and told you, it took me, I don't know the amount of hours, but I can just tell you it took me over 4 months of basically when my kids go to bed at 7 o'clock at night to me staying up until 12 midnight to 2 in the morning every night, just studying charts, studying the Learning Center on Intensity Stock Watch, just studying everything that I could to figure out why I wasn't figuring this strategy out. Why are other people using a very similar strategy and they're successful and I am not, right? I can sit here and tell you how to trade my strategy all day, but until you actually go do it, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. That's why I don't believe in all these people that sell courses. They can tell you how to do something all they want, but until you're actually doing it yourself and you have the emotion behind the trade and you're the one actually clicking those buttons, you're not going to understand how to actually trade that strategy. And that's the best thing I can tell you. And welcome, Kevin. Good to see you, man. Kevin couldn't have said it any better. Experience is the best teacher. Getting the screen time, being behind the screen, being behind watching the market. Just watch it. If you just jump on, try to trade, and then jump off, and you're still learning and you're not a pro of like 10 plus years, you're never going to get it. You're just never going to get it, never going to get it, never going to get it. Anyways. It's just you need to put the work in. It's just like a real job. If you show up to a brand new job and you have absolutely no idea what you're doing, if you just show up and try to do the bare minimum, you're just going to do the bare minimum, right? And you're probably going to get paid the bare minimum because that's all you're doing. But if you show up and you put the dedication in and you absolutely want to learn everything there is about that job and you excel at your job, you're going to get rewarded for it. It's no different. It's no different. I don't know any other way to put it. You need to put the hard work in. You need to sit here and you need to put the work in, and you have to dedicate yourself to it. You have to really want it. This is not a get rich quick thing. It's just not. Everyone sees these gurus, saying, "Hey, I turned $500 into $1 million," whatever. Sure, they did. They did it with a lot of help. It took time. Most of those people that did that were already traders. Like they already knew and understood the market. And there's just a lot of behind the scenes with that stuff too. So, and a lot of it might just be a lie. A lot of them might say they did it and they just didn't. But the ones that have and have proven it, good for them. But guess what? They were traders before. They just did that as a marketing thing to sell more courses, which whatever. I'm not getting into that. I've been trading wedge breakouts and it's been going horrible. So many false breakouts. Yeah, well, that's a thing. It's definitely a thing. Sorry, I'm reading something real quick. I had kind of wrote bullet points for tonight, but we haven't really went off of them at all. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Constantine, what's up? I saw you had said, hey there up there. Sorry I didn't get back to you. I got smoked today, lost like $60. Can you believe I've been trading? I've read that. Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong. Consistency, I might just trade with one share. I was actually talking to somebody within the team, V. He actually made a really good point. For myself, I had told him, I've lost 4 out of my last 9 trades, and he said, well, if you're losing right now because of the way the market is, he's like, why don't you just down your share size until the market comes back? Build your confidence up, use less risk, so that way, until the market picks back up and starts giving you the plays you're looking for, you're not risking as much. I was like, never really thought about that. That's a good idea. I mean, I've known about doing that, but I usually only do that after like a big loss. But I haven't really had any big losses. My losses have been controlled lately. So I never really thought about that. But he's right. The market is in like a weird funk right now. And trading regular size, it's been costing me some money. So I was like, hey, that's a good idea. That's another thing. Be part of a community. That's what I'm trying to create here, is a community where you can come and you can ask questions and you can get real, honest answers. It's not just... I physically do not have anything to sell you. I don't have courses. I don't have a chat room. I don't have any of that. So I want you guys to come here knowing that you guys can get honest opinions. And, that's what I have, the Discord. So whenever we're not here on these Friday night live streams, throughout the week, the Discord's actually growing really well. We have a bunch of people in there throughout the day, just talking stocks, talking, the positions that we're in, the positions the stocks we're trading, why we traded them. We're posting charts. It's starting to become a really active, community there. So it never hurts to have people to talk to throughout the day. Not throughout the day necessarily, just while you're trading. Just to bounce ideas, to maybe make a light bulb go off in your head that you didn't know. Like Kevin, watching one of Kevin's videos the other day, just by watching his video like I do every day, he set off a light bulb in my head, something I had never thought of. I'm a big poker player. So Kevin said something along the lines of, sometimes your big hands, like a poker reference, like pocket queens or whatever, just aren't going to win, right? Like you're going to get it in and you're going to realize as the board's playing out, it's a losing hand, right? I never put it in my head that how many times sitting at the poker table, you just put chips in, whether it's a blind or whether you're in the hand. Like say you end up raising pre-flop, you go to the flop, you end up betting the flop, get called, and like you realize, okay, I'm probably a loser at this point, but you've invested money into that pot that you now are starting to understand you're going to lose. And you're not going to get any of that back. That never dawned on me with trading. With trading, it's like, oh, I have to break even every trade if I'm not going to win. No, you can accept losing trades. It's okay. Like this trade, when I entered it and when I realized what was going on, to me, this was like pocket 8s, pocket 9s or something. Like this started out as pocket aces and I screwed it up. I turned it into pocket 8s and pocket 9s, or you can even say it was pocket aces and the run out was just really bad. Like there was 3 to a flush, 3 to a straight. Like there was everything that could bust aces. And I just realized I was in a bad trade. So guess what? You just got to throw it in sometimes. And that's exactly what this is. That's what cutting at high of day is for my strategy. It's realizing, okay, I'm not going to win this hand. It's okay. Just cut it, move on to the next hand, right? It's that simple. Cut the emotions out completely. Have a strategy, follow it. If it's a profitable strategy And the numbers show that over time it should be profitable. As long as you follow it every single time, it's going to work out in your favor. Stop loss is your buddy. Yeah. One day we all will become millionaires. You know, I hope that's true. I hope that everybody that is associated with me in the channel becomes a millionaire. I do. I sincerely do. Obviously, I hope I do first, but, you know, I hope you guys are soon after. Is that where your $60 came from? Boits on fast? Yep. The strategy that I trade is not like a one entry, one exit type strategy. If you're trying to like wait for the first red candle and then get in, there's actually somebody that I know who trades. He'll let the move happen. He'll wait for a red candle, and then he'll wait for the next candle to go under that candle, and that's his entry. So it's an interesting strat. It's not for me, but because I don't like the idea. I mean, you do have a set risk this way too, which is high of day. So right here at 35.59, so his entry would have been around there, and he's looking for the move to continue down. So it ended up getting down here to 28, which we all know it never got below 34 because we were in the trade on the ask. It was a little spready down there. And that's the system. So again, like up here, it would have been entry right under this candle, which was at 36.20 or 36.19-ish area, and then looking for the move down. So that's not a bad strategy, because the more I look at it, the more I see it kind of works. Because even again, like here, it didn't necessarily work. It was actually the same area, and it only came down like 10 cents before kind of consolidating, popping back up. But like here, it worked pretty good. But again, on like big intense moves, it'll work a little bit better. So just there's, again, talking to people in the Discord. This is where I found that out. This is actually Tom. He's in here. Just learning everyone's strategies. It really helps in the long run too. Because you start to understand how a lot of different people are trading. So it lets you understand what's going on, right? So it's really that easy. I think regularly changing share size up and down based on your performance makes sense. I would decrease share size by 10% based on weekly performance. Yeah, no, I agree. I've always wanted to come up with some kind of and that was actually one of my bullet points for tonight, was obey your risk management tactics. I've always wanted to come up with a method, like where if I'm on a hot streak, like try to scale up a little bit. But in the back of my head, it's definitely an emotional thing where I'm like, well, all it would take if I'm scaling up that little bit is like one loss, and it'll kind of wipe out, what it took me to get there. Where it's like, if I just keep trading at the same level, I just steadily build. I don't understand why. I wonder if I put a dark. I see my head keeps getting a little. I wonder if I put something dark up there, if it'll stop. There we go. It's bothering me. Honestly, you never have an issue with your entries, only respecting the risk. Did that perfect here, though. Would have been worse if you wouldn't have cut and been green, in my opinion. No, I agree. And I used to do that. I always say the worst thing that you can do, because there's been times where instead of cutting here, I would let it go high of day, and I would actually add again, and then I would make money, right? It would make this move back down, and I make a pretty good trade. And in my head, I'm like, oh, this is a good trade. But like I showed you with MTSI, that doesn't always happen. If this was another MTSI trade and it just went up and came down like to here and then went up and then came down to here and then went up, like it just steadily, and then it just started, and then it kind of stopped and went sideways up here. Well, guess what? You're screwed. So I don't do that anymore. MTSI really taught me a lesson, a valuable lesson at that. Have you ever tried scalping a trade? I do. There's times I do scalp. There'll be times where I get in, like say I got in right here at the top, and look at the wick this made. It got all the way down to 35.04 from a high of 35.87, all in 2 minutes. I actually think it came down and then went up, if I remember correctly. But let's just say I get in like near the top and it just shoots down like 20, 30 cents right away, and I feel it kind of stalling there because it's ready to shoot back up. I'll take it all off right there, and then I'll just look to get back in. And I feel like I'm pretty good at feeling those situations. But there has been times too where I'll take it all and then it just drops even further and I'm like kicking myself. But there are times that I do scalp, yes. But it's usually only if it's a big move back down, because I believe the faster the move, the weaker the trend. So if we get the big move up, then we get the big move down. To me, that's a fast move. So the odds of it continuing down aren't good. The odds are it's going to reverse again and go back up. That's why at the bell, or sometimes you'll see like a candle like this size, green, and then you'll see the same candle red. And then you'll see the next candle green all the way back up, and then the next candle red. You see it at the bell a lot. It's just because it's a big intense move up, then everybody sells, then everybody buys, and everybody sells. It's the way it happens sometimes. But when there's more bulls than there's bears, this is what happens. But then, like I had said earlier, when you finally run out of bulls and the bears start to kind of kick in, that's when you get the reversal. And that's when the intensity stock watch, that's what the intensity stock watch scanners are for, is to find these moves. And I'm not here to promote the scanners. Obviously, you guys know I use the scanners. If you want the scanners or want to know more about the scanners, feel free to ask, but I'm not here to promote those. I'm here to promote the learning process. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. That was kind of my spiel on intensity. I'm planning on making some videos on these subjects that I kind of have a list of subjects. I figured I would kind of dive into it a little bit. I'm going to really kind of break it down and make a more direct video about intensity. But just for now, I figured I'd kind of spew all over the place with it. So I got that kind of out of the way. So if there's any like questions about intensity, about anything at this point, feel free to ask. Just no rabbit holes. Hit that like button too while you're here. I see 13 of you here. There was more I should have asked earlier. Hit that like button. I don't think it does anything for streams. I'm not even at 1,000 subscribers, so I guess I should be asking that. If you're here and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Do you use level 2 a lot? When I'm trading, I've been noticing that. I've been looking at level 2 and time and sales a lot. I used to use time and sales all the time, but then I realized that you can see the time and sales. It's called a candle. It's really, to me, as simple as looking at the candles. What the heck is going on? What the heck was that? Oh, is that this color? I know. I don't know what that was. That was weird. What is going on? There we go. That was weird. But yeah, if you watch this candle go up and down, like that's the time in sales. You can pretty much see it. But some people like to see it visually with green and red prints. It doesn't really matter to me. I've been trying to get rid of this crosshair for so long, and I can't figure out how. Does anybody know how? Like I see somewhere over here it says always use the crosshair or something, but I thought it wasn't checked. Yeah, see, always show crosshairs, but it's not checked. I don't know how to get rid of it. What the heck? So when I click now, but I wasn't clicking before. That's weird. Yeah, level 2 guys, I will tell you right now, there is so much fake. There's just so much noise is the word I'm looking for. There's so much noise on our level 2. You'll see, like you'll see it all the time. Like say a stock's kind of moving down, right? And say we're at 36.40 on the ask. you'll see bids or offers pop in at like 45 for like 20,000 shares, right? It's like hey, there's 20,000 shares now sitting at 45, and then people just start selling because they're like, holy crap, this thing's coming down. But in reality, that was probably just somebody that's in a short position, that's a bigger player, that's flashing 20,000 shares at 45, knowing that he can just quickly get out of it real quick if it doesn't look like it's going to work. That's all it is. So, I mean, I'm sure that burns them sometimes, because I'm sure there could be a big person like looking for that kind of liquidity, and they're like, oh, there we go, there's the liquidity that I was looking for, kind of thing. But I'm sure that doesn't happen as much. But it's like a liar's game, basically. It's who can out bluff the other person first. Yep, like watching a magic trick and people pay for it. It's so true. Yep. The magicians flash big orders. That's all it is. You'll see it all the time. Like how many? I was actually in this this trade today. We were up here towards the top. Or no, it wasn't. It was somebody had brought up one of the other. It was a different stock. I don't remember. But there was a 20,000 share order, and it just kept disappearing. Like it would drop down. You would see it. Yeah, it was BBBY. That's it. Yeah, it was actually Tom that had brought it up. And the price would fall down a little bit. It would come back up, and then it was just gone, right? And then it would go up through. It started to come back down again, and then there was the 20,000 share order again. And it was like they kept flashing it over and over again. And I'm pretty positive that you can actually put fake orders in the level 2. Like, so if it gets hit, your order's not actually there. Like I've read that somewhere. Don't hold me to it, but I feel like I've read that somewhere that you can actually do that, which is messed up. These are so dangerous. Like, there's about that much rum in this, and you can't even taste it. The other 75% of blue curacao and pineapple juice just really dilutes the rum, I guess. It's so good. Yeah, I mean, if it's part of your strategy, there's nothing wrong with it. My water. Next time I'm just going to make the drink. I'm going to do what GDT does. I'm going to make the drink in front of you guys. I mean, I wouldn't be sipping it if it was just water. I'd be guzzling it. It's so good. It's just pineapple juice with some blue dye, food coloring. That's the word I was looking for. Yes, he did. Give me something, guys. What you guys doing? Anything fun with your kids? You doing anything fun for Halloween? Anybody dressing up for Halloween? You got some cool parties? Let me find. I'm gonna show you guys a costume that I wore at one point. You guys are gonna like it. I think my wife's in it in her costume, so I don't know if I want to show you guys now. But we went out in it, so I guess that would be her fault, right? I wonder if it's in one of the. I don't think it's in one of these albums. I think I have to go actually find it. Can't even tell because of the green. I know. I showed it earlier. It basically is green. It's like a bluish green. Well, no, I'm not sure. I want to show you guys. Pervs. Just kidding. I could just crop it real quick. This actually might take a while. Let me just hold the page down button. I don't really post photos on Facebook anymore unless it's the kiddos. So it shouldn't take too long. 'Cause it wasn't. I mean, I guess it was quite a while ago, but I would just do like the relationship photos, like just me and my wife. But I feel like every picture on here is basically that. I think we're getting close already. Back when I was skinny, like really skinny. Let me let me show you guys a picture of me when I like really lost all the weight. You might not even recognize me. Look at my face. What happened to my face? That was 6 years ago. What happened? I think oh, there it goes. All it took was a cruise. A single cruise to mess all of it up. Went on a cruise, gained like 17 pounds on a cruise, and I just kept eating. Gained most of it back like an idiot. It was 11 months of hard work, just gone. Where is this damn picture? You guys have any questions along the way, feel free to ask. It can be about anything. We're in the free-for-all section of the stream. It's almost a good hour and a half of talking about intensity. I like it. This can't be the end of the pictures. Son of a... Did I miss it? I feel like that's a picture you can't miss. Plus I thought there was a couple of them. Yeah, I don't think it was after that. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's not the full... Man. Now I'm upset. Maybe, because that's for... I was in the wrong section. Oh, I'm an idiot. How do you do... I don't like Facebook. All right, well, we'll sit there and hold that. Favorite indicators. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you that. My favorite indicator is VWAP, because that's the only indicator that I use. So, yeah, VWAP. Drinking from a mason jar. The mason jar is actually from BB. It's a burger and beer joint. It was in Miami, Florida, actually. We went over there. We always visit Clearwater. That was like our vacation spot before we had kids. That was actually where we moved for 3 months. And we... freaking mosquito. Should try to kill it. One time when we were down there, we said, hey, let's just drive over to the East Coast. So we did. And then we actually ended up taking a cruise out of Miami the next year, which was kind of funny. It's like we just wasted half of our trip driving across the state of Florida. Yep, Clearwater, Florida. We actually stay in Indian Shores usually when we go. We always just say Clearwater because that's where most people know. We actually lived in Lutz, or that's what it's called there. It's spelled like Lutz, Lutz, but it's pronounced Lutz, which is like 20 minutes north of Tampa. But yeah, she actually, when she got her job, it was in St. Petersburg down there. Because that was what happened, is she had the opportunity to transfer down there for a new shop that was opening up. And she just ended up not liking the people that work there, as well as we got pregnant the second time, and she was just getting homesick. And yeah, it was just it was a snowball effect in a sense. I think I'm getting close. We're pre-kid. I think we're almost pre-wedding. Almost. Yeah, we're getting close. It's loading so slowly. This was one of my favorite cruises. We got to stop at so many cool spots. These were the Pythons. It's kind of hard to see, but it's like a pyramid. But there was two of them. There was one behind it too that you can't see. We actually got to go up into the we hiked up into it and took like mud baths. It was like hot mud. It was kind of like running down the mountain. It was really cool. And then like as we got there was these kids that were jumping like 50 feet off of cliffs into the water, basically like looking for donations. It's pretty cool. Come on, don't tell me I just lost all my progress. I'll cry. That was a lot of paging down. No, it's like not loading. Oh, there we go. I know we're close. Come on. Come on. There we go. Ask me some questions. Ask them. Anything. I mean, if you're at least not going to ask questions, donate like $1 million to the stream. Put your name up there on the list. I actually think the subscriber thing's wrong too. I think it missed one. Yeah, I think we're at 646 now. Liars. 648. You guys are killing me. Favorite current baseball player? It's a good question. I love that question, actually. Acuna. I have to say Acuna Jr. Rookie, just absolutely smashes the ball. I mean, now you're going to get me all excited. You talk about, and I was thinking pitcher, but I went a different route. And I still really like Altuve, too. That dude is just a beast. Somebody that small and just, dude's like, I don't care how small I am. I'm crushing the ball. Did you see how they were getting the pitches tipped in their game 5? They totally figured out the dude's pitching, and they just whacked him in the first inning. McCutchen, dude, I love McCutchen. He's great. Yeah, Griffey Jr., dude. Griffey is amazing. Mine's Cal Ripken, just it's a homer type thing. Cal Ripken actually lives right near me. We actually see him at one of our favorite restaurants that we go to all the time. And yeah, but the Iron Man, you can't go wrong with it. I grew up watching him. That was kind of why I loved baseball as much as I did. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh, just about Acuna. Like the different breed of baseball players coming up now. Like I call them the millennial baseball players, where growing up you were taught when you were hitting to make contact, right? You're taught to just make contact with the ball. But these kids nowadays, they're literally being told they don't care about getting hit. They got all these pads and stuff. Like we didn't have that shit growing up. So now you literally are getting into the box. These kids coming up now, and you're attacking the ball. You're not just swinging to make contact, get base hits and stuff. You're attacking the ball, looking to crush the fucker, right? And it's just no other person than Acuna Jr. to me right now is doing it better. That dude just puts on a show. I just love watching him. You got me all excited. Dream Vacation. That's a good one too. I would have to say I don't know because I haven't been there, but I know I really want to go to Hawaii is where I would really like to go. So we're going to just do the last 3 subscribers to get this up to 48. All right. If you're in here watching, hit the subscribe button. Do it. Your name will pop up if your thing's public. Did you see how the dude was getting his pitches tipped? All right. He was tipping his pitches in the Houston game. All right. Let me show you. I'm going to show you guys just in case you didn't see it. All right. While I'm still looking for that picture. All right. Here it is.
The Astros were all over the Rays pitcher Glasnow last night. All over him in the first inning. This one's brought to you by The Sports Letter, and it's going to be a bit of a longer video because we got a lot to talk about. This is what happened. You see his glove level? These are two different pitches. It's where he rests his glove.
I'm a football
That's
fan.
what was going on.
I'm a Ravens
so if
fan.
We go even further. Look, one is above the letters. One is below the letters. Above, fastball. Below, curveball. The Astros must have known this may happen going in and been on the lookout for it. The rest of the delivery is the same. It's just all where he rests. So this is the first pitch of the game, and it's kind of a middler area. I mean, it's, I would guess, curveball knowing what we know, but it's actually a fastball. So there's some exceptions. It wasn't always, exactly, and there's sometimes where he's in the middle. This one is lower again, but then look, it gets high. Springer sees that all over the fastball. So this had to be something the Astros were like, hey, be on the lookout for this. Altuve's up, and this is the first pitch, and that's low. The glove's at the letters below it. That's a curveball. Altuve doesn't really like curveballs. He likes fastballs, so he just takes that one. The next pitch Altuve gets, look at that. Above the letters on his chest, Altuve knows, all right, this is a fastball. I love fastballs. Bam, 98. I don't care.
That dude's amazing.
Gonna hammer it.
I think it's above his head.
Altuve looks at the
98
dugout,
miles
says,
an hour.
He's
like,
doing it.
I don't care.
It's on. Yeah, it's going on. Be on the lookout for it. Now, this Bregman at bat is the
There's nothing
biggest
better than in
example.
baseball, like when you figure
Just look
out
at
somebody's.
this. That's a curveball. The glove is
like
down.
if he's tipping
And
pitches,
look
or
at
like you
Bregman's
figure out
spit
signs.
all over this curveball. No interest. Knew it was coming. No thank
That's
you.
great too.
Next pitch, he knew a fastball was coming, and he tried to jump it. He couldn't. He says, you know what? This next one's a curveball. I can tell by his glove, and I think maybe hitting the curve is going to be easier than hitting the 98-mile-per-hour fastball. So he takes this curveball, and he's all over it and smokes it.
You can just
right
tell
center.
that they know by the way they're
Now,
waiting on the pitch.
Let's see.
Like the way that
was
they're
up.
stepping.
Alvarez, the glove was never very high or very low. He was in a middle area.
The way
He
that they
grounds out.
step
But
into
now
the
Gurriel's
pitches.
up, and that's a fastball, right? It was above the letters. He takes next pitch so low, so dramatically low that he knows this is a curveball.
Like, watch how he
He's
sits on
amped
this.
Up for it. Bam. Another base hit.
Like, you just don't
another
swing
run,
with that much confidence
and
on a
this is
curveball,
where
especially a
things
curveball
got
like
interesting.
that.
You see
That's
Bregman
that
say,
good. Yeah, but
if
watch
it's
this. Yeah.
down, it's a curveball. If it's up, it's a fastball. Tells Correa that, and now I don't know what happened here, but Glass now said, yeah, I was tipping my pitches, and after all that, I was getting a little nervous. And you can see in his face, he's like, what the fuck is going on? Correa must have been hunting a curveball because he takes fastball again. He's in an 0-2 count, ready for the curveball, but it's a bad pitch, so he just takes it. Now he's got to protect because he's got 2 strikes on him. And then he gets the curveball. So it wasn't always dramatically they knew what was coming, but sometimes they did, and that's enough to score 4
Well, me and
runs
GDT both live in
inning
Maryland,
when you know
so
what's coming.
kind of makes
Reddick
sense.
got all fastballs, but the glove was kind of in a middler area for him, like that one.
But yeah, that was the gist of it.
Yeah, so there you go. That's basically what happened. Glasnow was tipping his pitches. It's all had to do with.
I saw that earlier, and I was like, holy crap. Game 5 for the season, and you're freaking tipping your pitches. Crazy. I still can't find this picture. I'm wondering if it's like I wasn't tagged in it or something. I don't even remember the last time I saw it. It's gonna bother me now. Oh, I hear my son about to get yelled at by the wife. Can you guys hear him? He's like, why are you waking me up? Stop it. Now I'm looking on like externals. Oh, it bothers me so much. I feel like this free-for-all isn't what it usually is. Dang, he's really crying. Who else was in the picture? Let's see. Angie was there. Isn't there a way that you can see like just the pictures? There it is, see friendship. Because I know I'm not in like a ton of pictures with her, so there it is. There it is. I found it. So this is one of the pictures. It was Chelsea that took them. But this is the Halloween costume that I was trying to find. It was it's a breathalyzer test. And to take the breathalyzer, you gotta, blow that area to see if you're sober or not. Now I'm curious if there was more pictures. Yeah, that's the wife. That's I don't remember her. That's Chelsea, Angie. I thought there was a picture of me and the wife, but maybe that was on mine. Fine, I found it at least. Makes me happy. Can stop looking now. All right. I can't believe 8 of you are still here. Why are you still here? Talk to me. Talk to me. Engage with me. Let me know. You have until this last half goes, and it's going to start going a lot quicker. I just want to fly. What can we talk about? Let's figure out something to talk about. You guys want to talk about something stock related? You guys just hanging out? You guys want me to just get off and go to bed? I've clearly ran out of things to talk about, and my mind is not in the mood to try to find other things to talk about. I fucked up today. Typhoon in Tokyo. Yeesh. You guys have like some weird ass weather over there. Doing business with the Chinese. What did you do? Tried to short SES after hours? Ew. So that thing was probably spready after hours, huh? When was after hours? Here. This whole move happened after hours? I thought this happened during the day. Because I was gone. I actually left around like a little bit before 2 o'clock. I didn't come back until like 5 o'clock. This actually was a decent short for the most part. It was trading a ton of volume in the after hours. That's crazy. You doubled down. Oof. Is this a real trade? Where did you trade it? I mean, if you're anywhere down here, that sucks. I shorted way down, like down here. It's cold here in Houston. How's the weather over there? Zishan, this didn't come up on your scanner? I remember coming home and it was like the only thing on the scanner. Let me pull it up real quick. Just out of curiosity. 690? Ouch. When did you get out? Or did you get out? Zishan, that's why you need the intensity stockwatch scanners. Like look at this. On both sides of the tracker. Look at all the alerts we get. It was literally just SES. Thing was going nuts. SES ended up 339%. Crazy move. Most of it was after hours. It was 100% like during the day, but I mean, it's really amazing, Zishan. I'm not here to sell it to you, but I always tell everybody, I'm not here to sell anything to you, but I don't tell you about things I don't believe in. Like, you guys should know that by now. I believe in CMEG because it's the best software broker, in my opinion, best broker, in my opinion, if you need it to day trade. If you can't get around the PDT rule with the amount of money that you have, if you have an account under $25,000, to me, CMEG is the best. That's why I promote it. That's why I went out of my way to be an affiliate so that we could get you the 295 trades. Because what I get from them, from you signing up, is not what you guys probably think it is. It's not worth like pushing over and over again, like sign up for CMEG, sign up for CMEG. Like, it's just not worth the time and effort to sound like a salesman to you guys. ISW, again, same thing. Yeah, of course I get a little bit of kickback. I'm the affiliate, but the real value from ISW is I literally can I always wake up early because of the kids, but I can sit down at my computer at 9:25, jump on, and just trade based off the scanners. It's that simple. I don't have to do any work, at least with my strategy. I will say that. With my strategy, these scanners work. You would have to make sure that they work for your strategy as well if you wanted it to be as simple as that. But literally, just in the amount of time I used to spend in pre-market looking for trades to set up, looking for patterns, just paying for the scanners to take that time away has been worth it. So how much were your total commissions for the fast trade? Well, for me, it's going to be different. Just because of the affiliate. That's kind of part of what I worked out with them, because I trade lower share size. I said, hey, as part of being the affiliate, can I get some help on the commissions? So for me, like, I'll show you guys. For some reason, it doesn't come up that way. Like, if I try to show you, it doesn't come up right on here. Now the other kid's crying. It's not letting me show you. I don't know. But it would have been 4 tickets. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would have been 3, 6, 9, 12. $12. With Shirt Trader, that's $20. 5, 10, 15, 20. So just on one trade there, you would save $8 just from using CMEG versus Shirt Trader. For me, I'm actually paying per share at the moment, so that's why it's a little bit lower. So they basically gave me the $2.95 just broken down per share. It's a minimum of 50 cents per share, and then it's like 0.0025 for the ECN fees. So they usually make it back a little bit that way. But per ticket, I usually pay about $1 at this point right now, or around $1, and then the fees on top of that. So I'm not really paying that much different. I mean, it adds up. That's almost $2 different. Just like I just am saying, it's $2 different than Shirt Trader versus CMEG, but it really helps. The lower the commissions you can get, the better. But if you're looking to day trade, don't believe in that zero commissions crap, because that's all for the web-based or mobile apps, and you're going to lose any kind of good executions that you're getting. You get what you pay for. I'll just leave it at that. I do plan on doing a follow-up video for that. I wanted to kind of do that, but I've been waiting for it to kind of go by for a couple weeks just to see how people are trading and see if any like new stuff comes out about it. But I haven't really seen anything since the 7th. So we'll kind of see if next week brings anything. But I do plan on making a video. Try adding a Keltner channel. Boitstat, if you're still here, I'm reading your comment from earlier. What is a Keltner channel? The Keltner channel is a moving average band indicator whose upper, so it's kind of like Bollinger Band. Adapt to changes in volatility by using the average true range. I mean, I don't really need bands to tell me when it's making a big move. I mean, I see what you're getting at. kind of interesting. Never heard of Keltner Channel before. I always looked at the Bollinger Bands. Brain fart. My TD account is good. Don't know why everyone is hating. I mean, hey, I think TD was already doing what they're doing. They were just charging you for it. So if you were happy with TD's execution before the $0 commissions, then hey, props. You get $0 commissions. You're still getting the same trades. I even said that in my first video. I really do think that TD has just been charging you for what they're already doing, what they were already doing. I just realized I still need to shut all my windows so I can set the alarm. What else you guys got? Ask me some more questions. Did I answer the dream vacation? I said it was Hawaii, didn't I? I think I did. Really want to go to Hawaii. To Splash Mountain? Splash Mountain. Are those still around? Like Splash, isn't that a ride at like Disney or something? Yeah, it is a ride at Disney. Water Country? I've never really been to the water parks. I was always a theme park. I mean, I would go to the water parks and the theme parks, but like Cedar Point in Ohio, Sandusky, Ohio, that's the main one that we would go to. Hershey Park and Kings Dominion are the two that are close by. Hershey Park down in Virginia, and Kings Dominion up in Pennsylvania, or vice versa. I think that's right. I don't remember. Busch Gardens down there attached to Water Country. I don't know. And there's a Busch Gardens up in New Jersey. I think there's one. Is it in Virginia? Hershey is in Pennsylvania. Kings Dominion is in Virginia. Now that I'm thinking about it. Those are the two that are close by. They're the ones we go to the most just because they're close. They're both about 2 hours. But we used to go to Sandusky to go to Cedar Point every year. We would drive there and back 8.5 hours each way. To me, that's the best theme park in the U.S. If you're talking roller coasters. So many good roller coasters there. Williamsburg. Yeah, Williamsburg. You're right. Busch Gardens in Virginia. I'm pretty sure I've been there. I was never really big into Busch Gardens because they were never like the theme parks that we liked. Like roller coasters. We were big into roller coasters. There's this, there's a Six Flags by us that we get season passes to. We actually went a bunch this year with the kids. They love it. I think I've rode like 3 rides. We've been there a bunch. I think I've rode 3 rides since we've been there. We just go there for the kids at this point. Yeah, Cedar Point is amazing. If you guys haven't been to Cedar Point and you like roller coasters, go there. Millennium Force, probably I will say the best roller coaster I've ever been on. That's my favorite roller coaster. 310-foot drop, pretty much inverted. It's not inverted, but it feels inverted as you're going down it. I think you only reach like 90 miles an hour, and then the ride itself is like 2 minutes long. It's just big hill after big hill and just fast and just awesome. I've actually watched some of their videos, Ishan. They do like abandoned theme parks and hotels and all kinds of different stuff. Yeah, I've watched them before. You'd be surprised how many times I'll be studying, or back when I was studying more than I do now, where I would get to like 12:30 and I'm like listening to a YouTube video in the background, and it like auto clicks onto something else. And then I go to stop it, and then like in the recommended, I see something. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then next thing I know, the next 2 hours of my life are gone to YouTube. And I'm like, how did I get to 2:30 in the morning? I have to wake up at 6 and watch the kids. You can get the Fast Pass. We always pay for the Fast Pass when we go to Cedar Point. It's like an extra $35 per ticket. But you basically go up the exit. I think now they have rerouted it, so like they made their own walk up, because you used to just walk up the exit and get on that way, but now I think it's just like a line next to the real line. And I'll never forget, like the first time we used it. The Millennium Force was literally like a 2.5 hour wait, and we just walked up, and it was like a bar, and you had to there's a person standing there to make sure you had the Fast Pass. You show them the Fast Pass, they open the bar, and then you just walk in, and then like it was like, I don't know, like 10 steps, and then you literally opened the gate and went up the exit, and you got to the top, showed them your Fast Pass, and you got on the next ride no matter what. It took literally, I don't know, like 30 seconds to get on a ride where it was a 2.5 hour wait, and we just kept doing it. It was like the best thing ever. Let's look. I watch Formula One. Graham Stephan's a good one. Poker Channel. Brad Owen. John Boy Media. He does some funny like commentary on baseball videos. Run It Once is I listen to a poker podcast on there. Close Call Sports, it's an umpiring thing. Trick Trades, if you guys aren't subscribed to Trick Trades, go subscribe to him and look at his, this is, again, I'm just promoting this because of his giveaway. But when he gets to 10,000 subscribers, he's giving away like some crazy stuff. Here it is.
This isn't a sponsored video. I'm doing this on my own, by.
So, I thought he had someone.
Money, just as a special thank you, a special appreciation to all my users.
It's like a really expensive. Oh crap! It's like a really expensive laptop. Some kind of. It's like a whole setup and like 2 external monitors and stuff like that. But yeah, he just needs to get to 10,000. Then he's gonna just like pick a random subscriber, or so he says. Lockpicking Lawyer is really cool. He literally goes through and just picks locks every day. He uploads a video, and he just shows you how to pick locks, and he's like really good at it. But basically, it's funny because a lot of the comments you'll read on these, it's like the shorter the video, the crappier the lock. So like you can tell how crappy the lock is just based off of how long the video is. It's pretty funny. Some of these people, the traders themselves, I follow for different reasons than to watch them for their good content. The only ones I watch like for real, like to actually try to learn from them, is GDT, Kevin, and Clay is one of them. I actually just found this Live Traders guy. I've actually found him. His name's Jared, and there's another guy on there. His name's tough to say. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But they have a couple interesting strategies that I like to watch other traders to see how they trade, to just kind of see what could be happening while I'm trading my strategy. Yeah, Anmol, I think it is. Yeah, Tom actually turned me on to him a little bit. Or I actually came across him, and then Tom was like, yeah, I know about them, and we were talking about them a little bit. But yeah, they have some pretty cool strategies that I was kind of watching. And it's just good to know how they kind of trade, how other people trade. 8 to 5 Trader, I just found this guy. If you guys want to, I was just telling him, he actually just joined the Discord today. He doesn't have that many subscribers. He was posting videos like a while ago, and then he stopped. Like a year ago. But I randomly came across him, but just by like typing live day trades or something and looking for people that had posted in the past week. And I had saw that he was posting like his results. I went in and found that he's doing the same kind of thing where he's showing his actual account, like he's showing you his actual journey, and he's going through. He's only doing recaps. He doesn't do the live trades, but again, it's always good to see people actually doing things the right way. Like to me, this is, he's being transparent. That's what we're all about here, transparency. And I reached out to him and I let him know. Not on this video. I think it was the last video. But I was just, I let him know. Be like, hey, man, this is awesome what you're doing. Keep it up. And, hopefully he is successful. Marley, she's a poker player. She's also pretty cute. That's why I follow her. She does a poker vlog just like Brad Owen. Learn how to dance. I have this weird thing that as a hobby I want to learn how to dance, but I just never seem to do it. Trying to stick to non-poker here, 7 points, poker, Kenobi's poker, or trading, I meant Kenobi's trading, Lone Wolf's trading, Wired Day Trader. That's Vincenzo. Vincenzo's an interesting dude. Love that guy. Circuit, if you guys don't know about Circuit, it's pretty cool. It's a cryptocurrency. OMFG, somebody on one of the live streams actually turned me on to these guys. They make some pretty cool videos. Where is it? I think it's this. Yeah, it's this easy. It's like a dubstep type, techno type music, but I really like it. I don't want to play it all because I don't want to get copyrighted. Mark Rober, if you guys don't follow Mark Rober, he's cool. He puts out like one video a month, but he puts so much work into them, and a lot of his videos are really cool. If you don't know about him, you could definitely lose yourself in his videos for a night. UDY, this is a gold diggers like prank. Not pranks, but it's a like catching gold diggers type thing. It's basically like a TV show. It's pretty funny. Beyond the PDT, that's I don't even know why I'm subscribed to them. I think I meant to like look into them. I think somebody had mentioned them last week, and I subscribed to them so I'd look into them, but I forgot. High Mountain Trader, he is attempting to, I think, get back into posting videos, and he's been getting everything set up. I wonder, is that website live? Sniper Trading Live. Oh, nice. So he's actually got his website up. That's cool. I'll have to look at that in a sec. Tim Gratani, trading, learning day trade training. Prince EA. A lot of people hate this guy. And I've kind of started to not like him a little bit, but he has one video that just really kind of hit home with me. Let me see if I can find it real quick, and I'll post it in the channel. So if you guys want to watch it, I wonder, I'm trying to, yeah, here it is. So to me, this video like really, see you, Tom. Bear Bull Traders, yeah. I used to follow them. I feel like I watched enough of them that I actually unfollowed Bear Bull Traders because they started posting like all the members videos, and I would click on them and like their mics would be screeching and just the audio quality was really bad and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just stopped watching because I don't know. Chat with Traders, guys. If you guys don't know about Chat with Traders, you got to find them. Intensity Stock Watch, that's an obvious one. So that's it. That's all. I'm actually following quite a bit of people that I didn't realize, but I usually, when I come in, I always hit the subscription page. I usually only watch like new stuff. So if it pops up on here. But yeah, that video I just linked, it hits home, especially for people that are looking to get into trading a little bit more full time. Might hit you the right way. Yeah, UDY is pretty funny. How much has your account grown in the past month or so? Well, since, just pull this up. Since we started trading again in July, we were at, I'm trying to get the July 1st. We're at like negative 641. And now we are, after we got up to there, but we're now at 237. So what's that? Plus $800. So again, I'm small right now. I'm starting small, but we're trying to. This is a huge advantage to having something like this at stocktrader.com. It's completely free, by the way, if you guys want to go start one of your own. And this is every single trade of my whole trading career. And the advantage of having this is you can see, like, so over the last July, August, September, October. So the last 4 months, basically 3.5 months, I've only made $800, right? So you would think, oh, well, that's really not that much. But if you see the progress that I'm making, like you see, I've learned, like, look at my losses now. When I have losses, look at how small they are on these little down spikes. Look at what they were before. Look at this loss. And then look at this loss. And look at this loss. Like, look how big those losses are. And now when I lose, look how small they are. So if I can keep this curve, if I can keep grinding up like this, and then when I do lose, it's just this little blip in the radar, we're good to go, right? So if I can recover, basically, this is almost kind of flat right here, and then just start going up again, I'm good to go, right? I'm happy with that. And then eventually when the account size gets a little bit bigger, we scale up. And then when we start scaling up, this starts going up a little bit faster. So that's what it's all about. It's all about consistency. All about consistency. We're getting there. Chat with traders, man, is awesome. You got to find the ones that apply to you, but they're awesome. What else you guys got for me? I think I answered all your questions, right? Yeah, just to show you guys real quick. The live traders, the guy Jared, one of their main plays is, he calls it the 3-bar play, and it works on any time frame. So right here, you don't see it, but if you go to the 5-minute, look at this. So you get what they look for is a big move through a previous resistance, just like I do, but they actually look at the top of the move. They look for this 1 bar in the middle. So so essentially this is like 1 bar because it's all one move. And then this is the 2nd bar, and then this is the 3rd bar. So what they look for is these 2 lines. So you have the line here, and then you have the line here at high of day. So basically, they run this as a 2-to-1 strategy, 2-to-1 risk reward. So they would look to enter as this breaks high of day, and they would set their stop loss underneath the bottom of this candle. So you're looking for it to be a breakout and continue, and then you're risking off the bottom. So in this case, it wouldn't have been a 2-to-1 if you actually did risk it like that, because it came down and it would have stopped you out and then eventually went higher, which would have been pretty frustrating. But I'm sure in most cases, or they take it a case-by-case basis. But it's again, it's pretty interesting to see how people trade different strategies. And what I was going to say is I have an Excel sheet that I had made, and I actually had put that in there because I was just messing around with it. But like, let's say in this instance, this was the high of this candle. And he actually uses stop buy orders to get in. So like if the price is down here, he'll actually put a stop buy order like right above this. So the high was 35.94. So he would put a stop buy order as it's down here at 35.95, because if it gets in, that's when he wants in for the breakout. And it's something I've never seen somebody do before. It's pretty interesting. So 35.95. You'd be risking off of, the bottom was 35.27. And if your max risk is $100, so you'd be looking for it to get up to 37.31, and your position size would be $1.47. So to make $200, it would have to get to 37.31, and you're risking $100 if it hits 35.27. So it's pretty cool. I don't really have an Australian accent though. And speaking of Vincenzo, there he is. He's lurking. Well, if you go down under, we talk about chat with traders. No, that's bad. I don't. I'm more of a. I can try to do like a British accent, or what? I guess it would be British. Would you like a cup of tea? We can talk about charts all day. I'm better with my Arnold impression. Get down. There's not much time. Get to the chopper. Come with me if you want to leave. Yeah, that was pretty bad too. I'm kind of tired. I'm going to give you guys until 11:45. So you got 8 minutes. Ask questions, or so be it. Because as you can see, my drink is pretty much gone. It's getting there. Only a little black left. You're about to do an entire video in Australia. I've never really got into accents. I am a really good commentator, though. Like, if you find a game, like I used to play Counter-Strike Source a lot. Like, if it's a game that I know everything about, like Counter-Strike Source, and I'm just sitting there commentating it, I used to get asked to commentate all the time, and I would just do it. I would just do it for free because I enjoyed doing it. And it was like before the game ever like really took off. And I really think if I would have kind of stuck around that game a little bit, I probably would have been one of the main commentators, like at the big LAN events. Nothing back from Patrick on the contest. For you, gotcha. Yeah, he said, as far as I know, I'm in. So I'm just kind of waiting to hear the further details. I think if you were accepted, I think you would have heard back by now, if I had to guess. Because I think he's responded to pretty much everybody that's going to be in it, for all I know. But I'm sure people are still trying to enter here and there as well. Like maybe people that have just figured it out. I've actually been waiting. Wait, what? For real? I need to see proof. Or did it not air yet? Gonna be mad. I could have married her. Check your video. Yes, sir. On the Wired Day Trader? I feel like I haven't seen a video from you in a while. Why did I X out of YouTube again? I keep doing that. Which channel is it on? Oh, yours? Oh. Coco goes on Shark Tank. Number one gamer girl. That's not her. You liar. That's funny though. Face. Yeah, that was funny. Not gonna lie. She does say her name's Coco. You're right. Kind of makes it even better. I totally forgot what else I was gonna say with this. See what you do to me. See what you do to me. Oh, that does remind me. I need to message Brian real quick. dun, 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 dun. There was actually some of the trading memes. Of course, that's going to make me scroll. There we go. Some of these were really funny. I saw this one. Me when I finally find when I found the Holy Grail, disappear from McDonald's, come out in some Gucci, and then this one, me when I crash my account again. Back to McDonald's. This one's really funny too. Hey, are you sleeping? The brain says, yes. Shut up now. You didn't set a stop loss. That one's great. Looks like everybody's peacing out, Vincenzo. It's just me and you and the other 5 or 6 people. You guys got 3 minutes to ask me anything. Trading related, meme related, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. I feel like the intensity part of this live stream is pretty good. Not going to lie. I feel like we can expand on that next weekend. Maybe we'll go into something a little bit more in depth. Maybe something more into the strategy of things. Maybe break down some like ascending, descending triangles. Maybe the intensity strat itself. I don't know. This one was pretty funny, but it's really loud. Constantine just starting his morning in a freaking typhoon. What was that game called? Roller Coaster Tycoon? Typhoon? Was it Tycoon or Typhoon? Roller Coaster Tycoon. This one's funny too.
Time for breakfast? Different kind of breakfast.
And now we can have a seat.
Time for breakfast?
Where is the other one? Excuse me. Yeah. My son's waking up. This one was really good. I actually saved this one because it's actually a pretty good one. When people ask you what your favorite indicator is, this is what I should show them. Indicators are just in that, and they're just indicators. Doesn't mean they're going to show you what's going on. I give up. I don't feel like looking at these right now. Especially when I've already looked at all of them. Let me, I didn't even really. I totally didn't realize that my Discord was muted. Whoops. For anybody that's still here and does want to be part of the Discord, if I can click the right thing. There we go. X marks the spot. Why does it keep doing that? There's the Discord. I'll give you guys another 2 minutes. See if anybody wants to ask any questions. If not, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Thanks for stopping by. This is every Friday night. If you guys want to stop by again next Friday, we're here every Friday night, guys. Unless I'm away on vacation or something like that, I will be here. What was I about to do? Oh. Thanks, man. Yeah, this is actually going to be a pretty good active weekend for myself. We have like one of the pumpkin patch festivity things, but we did the pumpkin patch pumpkin picking part last weekend. We actually have 2 different places that we go to. By the way, my drink's gone. You can like see the pulp that's left. But this week we have another farm that we go to where it's got like all the activities, the hay rides, the corn maze, the slides with the little straw mats or whatever they are, like the all the animals you can pet, stuff like that, for the kids. And then Sunday we have a birthday party to go to for my son. It's at like one of them play gym type places. And then football. So be another active weekend for myself. Don't really ever get to relax anymore. So one day. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. It was nice talking to all of you. It's a little weird getting out of here before midnight, but it seems like, sometimes we're just not ready to talk all night. Maybe everybody got a little confused because I was actually teaching tonight, or trying to teach anyway. So if you're still here and you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. Thank you for the support. I will hope that I have a good weekend. Hopefully you all have a good weekend. Always Discord. I'll be in there all weekend. Always available to talk there. And I will go ahead and catch you guys on the flip side, which is Monday. Peace.